All right, we're here with Marian Central grad Chris Streveler. You were in Canadian Football League last year with the Blue Bombers. Won the Grey Cup. Ended up wearing a fur coat and a Stetson hat in the parade, and now you're an Arizona Cardinal. Tell us where you're at right now and what that process looks like, kind of getting acclimated with the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, it's good talking to you guys first and foremost. Right now, I'm out in Arizona. So moved out here about 2 months ago. Unfortunately, I kind of got out. I was coming out here originally to just get in the facility, get around the team and stuff. And like a couple days after I got out here, all the facilities shut down. So I haven't been able to do that, but I am still training out here. My gym is a physical therapy place as well, so they stayed open. And then there was a couple guys in there that we throw with and stuff. So definitely still able to get my work in. We've been doing some virtual meetings and stuff. So I'm in the playbook right now, basically just trying to learn as much as I can and get in as good a shape as possible for when everything gets going, whenever that may be, and just kind of hit the ground running.
So is that kind of hard that you haven't been able to like meet a lot of your new teammates in person yet?
Yeah, it hasn't been tough, but I'm a little disappointed because that's kind of the main reason I came out here was to just get around teammates. And I mean, there is still a bunch of guys, I guess not a bunch, but there's a few guys from the team that work out at the same place that I do. And so I've gotten to meet them and we've built up a relationship, but it is a bit disappointing that I haven't got to be, just around the facility and just, getting acclimated to everybody and everyone kind of getting to know me and things like that. But like I said, that's something totally out of my control. So all I can really do is just get in the playbook and continue to work out every day, work hard, and just be ready for whenever things kick off.
Have you been able to see Dennis at all? Dennis Gardick, who's from Crystal Lake, and I guess you guys actually played baseball together when you were, 11 or 12 or something?
Yeah. So Dennis is my guy. He works out at the same place that I do, so I see him basically every day. And it was just kind of funny because obviously you mentioned we played Little League baseball together 12 and 13 years old, I think, and we played for the Lake and the Hills Thunder, and we were a really good team. But after that, we kind of, we didn't really keep in touch, and then flashback to 2 years ago, I'm going into my pro day, and he transferred to the University of Sioux Falls. So we all kind of combined pro days. So we were at the same pro day, so then we kind of connected there, and he was just an athlete, so he was doing some linebacker stuff, DN stuff, catching some balls, so I was throwing to him, and then flash forward here to now, and then I go out to the Cardinals, and we see each other again. We're like, man, who would have thought that two, 7th and 8th place in the lineup hitters would end up on the Arizona Cardinals together? Probably not us or anybody involved with that team. So it was kind of funny, small world type situation.
What were those 2 years like for you, 2 seasons like for you in the CFL, and how'd that make you better?
Oh, man. I mean, well, first off, my time in the CFL is some time that I'll treasure for the rest of my life. I've made lifelong friends and, memories that'll last a lifetime. Getting to win a championship, I mean, that's one of the biggest highlights of my life, to get to achieve a goal like that you're working for with guys for so long and you're putting literally blood, sweat, and tears into it. It means the world to me. So, I mean, I honestly – we don't have all day here, so I'm not going to talk about it all day. But just the short version of it is I'm so thankful for my time up there. I love my teammates. I love those coaches. The fans are outstanding in Winnipeg. The reception that we got when we won the championship was anything beyond my wildest imagination. And then, the second part of that question was just how has that helped me? And I kind of was talking to, I don't remember who I was talking to this about, but kind of when everything was going down with the NFL and it kind of looked like I was going to be able to get out here. I just kind of was talking about how, that time up in the CFL, those 2 years, just prepared me for this opportunity. Had I come out of college and gotten this opportunity, I wouldn't be the same person or the same professional that I am today. I mean, getting up there, you just learn how to be a professional. You learn how to carry yourself. You learn about the type of work ethic that it takes to be successful. And it's a grind. And, you don't really realize that when you first come out of college. And then luckily I had some great veteran guys up there that taught me what it meant to be a professional and how to carry myself, how to work. So in that sense, I'm even more grateful for that time up there because it's prepared me for this opportunity. And, mentally I'm ready to carry myself the way that I need to carry myself and prepare the way that I need to prepare to give myself the best opportunity.
You've never been a traditional quarterback, in the fact that, you know, you're willing to put your shoulder down, take somebody on. Was watching highlights from Winnipeg a little bit ago. You were doing the same thing there. How does that translate to the NFL?
I think just the way that the league's changing, like, I mean, you don't really see a lot of guys that can't at least move a little bit, because the guys on defense are such freaks that, like, if you can't at least move a little bit, I mean, you don't have to be a runner, but you do have to just, I think it makes your life a little bit easier if you can move around a little bit. I mean, I don't necessarily know how, much running over of linebackers I'm going to be doing at the NFL level, just because, they're different beasts. But I do think that I've always had a love for the physicality of football, even though I am a quarterback. And so I think that that's hopefully going to allow me to, get some more opportunities, whether it may be special teams type stuff or just, different things that I can do as a quarterback. So, like you said, I kind of do have a unique skill set, but, it's worked for me up to this point. So I don't really see myself changing too much.
The NFL in a lot of ways becomes a copycat league, and that something works well, then somebody else will try it. We saw that when, like, Miami and Ronnie Brown started doing the direct snaps, and now Taysom Hill comes in and does this. I know you keep hearing that name and thrown out there when people mention you.
Yeah.
But has a guy like that helped someone like you get opportunities? And Joe was talking about, like, Tampa signed somebody too from.
Yeah, Tampa has Nick Fitzgerald, who was quarterback at Mississippi State, and then the Giants have a guy, Eric Dungy, who they're I guess kind of looking at similar things, kind of like what Arizona's looking for you.
Yeah, and I mean, Philadelphia drafting Jalen Hurts, and they already said they're going to do different stuff. So I mean, like I kind of alluded to, like, the game's just changing, and, like, I don't know, I mean, Taysom Hill's obviously been balling and doing his things, and I think it's kind of just opened people's eyes to, just if you got athletic people, give them an opportunity, and if you can put a quarterback out there that can, throw but also do some other things, like, it just makes your offense that much more versatile. And for somebody like myself and those other guys that you mentioned, like, it's about making the team. So the more stuff that you can do, and the more versatility that you can show, the more opportunities you're going to have. And that's what it's about at this level, and the professional level, is getting opportunities, because you don't know how many you're going to get, and taking advantage of them to the best of your ability. So just the more things you can do, it just allows for more opportunities to be presented.
You caught some balls at Minnesota, didn't you? Your first couple of years? Did you catch?
I think I caught maybe one or two.
Oh, okay. I thought
I practiced. I mean, there was my third year. I mean, there was some days where I was playing quarterback, running back, fullback, tight end, receiver in the same day. So, like, I've been, I wouldn't say I'm a master at any of those things, but I would say that I've got an introductory level course at many different positions. Yeah.
What was the process like of going from Canada to the NFL and knowing when it was the right opportunity, and how did that all work out? And when did you kind of figure out that this was something that was going to be reality?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a unique situation for me, because at the end of the CFL season, I was playing through a pretty bad injury, and so at that time I was supposed to be out for the season, but I was pushing to come back, and that was kind of when teams were hitting me up saying that they wanted me to work out. Well, I kind of knew that playing through that injury, I wouldn't be able to work out for everyone. So, the long story short, some teams, obviously I wasn't able to work out, but some teams pushed it back. And then I was able to work out for 3 teams. And then, from there, like, kind of, the workouts are not that long, but you kind of know, like, right away after the workout, like, what the vibe is from the other team, like, if they're interested or not. So I kind of knew after, the first couple of workouts that I was going to have an opportunity to come down here. But for me, like, I was stoked about the opportunity. I mean, this is my childhood dream, just to get this opportunity, right? But it was tough for me just to leave Winnipeg, just because of the love that I had for my teammates, and I mean, especially my teammates, but also the coaches and, like, the fans and just the people up there. Like, I had such a great time, and, like, those relationships that I had with my teammates are stuff that, it's going to last a lifetime. So I just remember kind of like, it was a few days before I signed, and I knew I was going to sign down here, but I just remember, like, hitting up a bunch of my teammates and just being like, like, here's the deal. I'm going to be signing, but like, I just wanted to let you know like how hard it was for me and how much I appreciate all you guys and like how much I cherish our time. And, I'll be rooting for you guys and all this stuff and like how much I'm going to miss everybody. And everyone was super supportive. Just like, you got to take this opportunity because it doesn't come around very often, especially for CFL guys. So, they were all super supportive, but it was tough for me just to leave, so many people that I have a lot of love for.
You were talking about that injury. Now tell us what it is. What was it?
Oh, man. Well, there's been a lot of speculation. I kind of just told everyone at the end of the year that I didn't want to make it about me. Like, I mean, there was a lot of reports and stuff like that. And I just kind of told our coach, like, he gave me the option. He's like, do you want to tell everyone what it is? And I was like, nah, man, it's not about me. It's just about the team. So I don't think I'm ever going to, like, divulge that. Probably not right now. But, I mean, it was a serious injury. It was my ankle. And, we'll leave it at that.
How is it right now and where are you at with that?
Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. I mean, I just needed about 2 months to recover. And then, I mean, I was able to complete workouts for teams, in January. So I'm good. I still get some work on it here and there just to, make sure it's all cleaned up and stuff. But, we're good to go.
One thing that we keep asking people whenever we do an interview like this is, think back to when you were in high school. What would you advise a high school athlete or a football player right now? We're getting into the summertime and you're not getting the practices you normally would get in. There's a lot of important team time, a lot of important lifting that happens in a group atmosphere usually right now. What kind of mentality should they be taking and what kind of advice can you offer?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest advice that I would offer, and I mean, this isn't just high school people, but everyone, like, I mean, there's guys at all levels that aren't doing anything right now. And, like, it's such a unique time because no one knows what's going to happen, right? But, like, all you can control is your own mindset and your own work ethic. So, you can choose to, have a negative mindset and be like, oh, I'm missing stuff or I'm bored. Or you can have a positive mindset and be like, look, like, I'm trapped in the house. Like I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna be getting the work in that I need to get in, and I'm working out. I'm doing all the things I need to be doing. I'm holding myself accountable. That way, when things kick off, I'm ready to go. So, I mean, that's kind of the mindset that I've had out here. Like I'm out in Arizona, nothing's open, so I have to cook for myself every day. So I'm eating healthy. Everything's closed down, so I'm never going out. I'm just staying here. I'm just working out, eating clean, and just learning the playbook and getting ready. And that's all you can control is your own attitude and your own mindset. So whether you're in high school or myself at the professional level, it doesn't matter. All you can control is yourself, and you have no control over what's happening in the world right now.
Chris, you got a chance now to throw balls to one guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald, and another guy who looks like he might be headed to the Hall of Fame, Deandre Hopkins, a big trade the Cardinals made. Have you had a chance to meet either one of those guys in person, or you just like talk to them on you guys probably do the Zoom thing for team meetings and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we do the Zoom stuff, but you know what? I haven't gotten to meet either of them. It was just, I think me and Deandre Hopkins kind of like crossed paths one day, but I wasn't like really paying attention. And so we were kind of in and out of the facility or of the workout facility at the same time. And then I just missed him. And then Larry, I think, some of the guys that I throw with, they, I don't know, he was, I just haven't connected with him yet. So I'm sure that day's coming soon once everything gets kicked off. But I've got the utmost respect for both those guys, man. Larry's obviously a legend, and D-Hop's pretty dang good at what he does. So I'm excited to just learn as much as I can from those guys and all the other great players they have in that building.
So when did you buy the fur coat? Is that something that you've always owned, or how do you acquire something like that?
I didn't purchase it. That's the thing. It kind of conjured up in my mind like 2 months before the Grey Cup. It was me and my girlfriend. We were just chilling, and we were just talking about something or whatever. And I was like, you know what? If we win this Grey Cup, I'm wearing a fur coat. I'm going all out. I'm going fur coat. I'm going jean shorts. And so I never bought it because she sent me a picture like a couple days later with the fur coat on. And I'm like, what? It was her mom's fur coat. So she had it laying around. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to be perfect. So, I had the fur coat, I had the jean shorts, and then I got the cowboy hat in Calgary. I bought, like, for the Grey Cup, then I bought the sunglasses in Toronto with the quarterbacks, and then I had, like, a gold chain on. Someone had just threw that to me during the parade. I just caught it and put it on. So, like, it all just kind of randomly happened, but, like, I felt terrible after the parade because obviously the coat wasn't meant for someone my size. So, like, both the armpits had been ripped out. There was, like, beer and champagne all over the front. And here I have to, like, go back to her mom and be like, hey, thanks so much for the coat. It's just torn to shreds. So, like, I felt terrible. But there was a lady that came up to me. I was doing, like, an autograph signing a couple days after that. And she was like, how bad is that fur coat? And I was like, oh, pretty bad. And she's like, well, I can fix it. I'm like, no way. She's like, yeah, I'll fix it up for you. So I ended up giving her the coat. She sewed it up, cleaned it and everything, and got it back to her. And I don't know if it's good as new, but it's in pretty dang good conditions considering what it's been through.
Now, another thing that we were looking up today, and Joe's been spending a lot of time researching this, is there was a bowl named after you in Canada that was then sold. What do you know about that?
Well, Joe sent me the text earlier. I was like, he was like, do you know Cliff Lee? Do you know he bought this bowl? So
I can't confirm that it's the Cliff Lee, but I think it might be because there was a base. It is. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, because there was a baseball on the tweet that I saw. It said Cliff Lee Charlet. But the baseball made me think, well, this is something that he's investing in after baseball. So that's pretty funny.
Cliff Lee. So it was actually like a huge deal in Winnipeg. So like I saw the tweet and like I'm looking at it. I get a lot of weird tweets. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is this? I come back to it. I look at it a little closer. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. So whatever. I end up tweeting it out and just being like, this is awesome. And then it just kind of took off from there. And like, I don't know, man. Like this whole story of this bull is insane. Like, so it's a farmer in Manitoba. They've been raising bulls for something like 40 years. And this is like the best bull they've ever raised. Like this is their prized possession. And they're like, you know what? We got to name it after Streveler. So I'm like, okay, first of all, that's super, like, it's crazy, but it's also super cool. This guy's, like, the prized possession of his work is, like, he's naming it after me. So, you know, that happened. And then, like, then you hear Cliff Lee buys it, and I'm like, this is crazy. So, honestly, just, like, probably one of the weirdest stories I've ever been a part of, but also just, like, it just kind of speaks to the people in Winnipeg, like, how much they love the Bombers and, like, they'll ride and die with you. So, I mean, it was just cool to see. I was like, this is something I never expected to happen. My dad was just cracking up. He was following the story closer than anybody. He was texting me updates. He's like, did you know this about the bull? Did you know this and that? I'm like, Dad, I'm not really following it. I got stuff to do. But, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I was kind of like, it was cool.
Try in TRI-N Streveler 971G. Yeah, he's a Charlet bull. Yeah, that's a great story.
He weighs 900 kilograms. That thing weighs 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
It's a big bull. It's a big bull.
Yeah.
Someone was saying that I need to get a picture on it with the fur coat on.
Oh, there you go.
So,
The repaired fur coat.
We'll come back to that one at a later date. But.
Well, he's in Missouri now.
Yeah.
He's in northern Missouri. So that's.
The farmer was kind of telling me, or I think I did an interview about it or something, and he was like, yeah, the farmer wants to get down there and see him, but with everything going on, he hasn't been able to get out there. So I guess he's going to get down there and see him soon. Just check on him. Make sure he's doing all right. I don't know.
Now, you've had a nomadic experience in football. You were obviously Minnesota, up in Canada. Where does high school rank for you and those high school teams that you had and kind of the experience at Marian Central?
I mean, it's just all so different, you know, like, I mean, first off, I have so much love for my teammates and my coaches from high school. Like, I mean, I don't talk to Dirk probably as much as I'd like, but we definitely keep in contact and we talk for sure, you know, once every couple months. And then, you know, I talk to Brucker every so often. Like, Liam Kerwin's still one of my best friends to this day. Like, I've got buddies on that team that I play with and guys I keep in touch with. So, but, you know, it's just like, it's times that I cherish, and we did some great things, but at every level, I learned different things, like, about myself and my progression as an athlete. So, you know, I think I just kind of learned, like, the value of, like, how to be a leader and, like, the value of camaraderie in high school and working out with those guys. Because, I mean, we spent some long days together in the summer working out in that weight room for hours and hours. And we had one of the close-knit teams I've ever been a part of. And so I just learned that. And I also just kind of learned like how to grind and like how to control what I can control. And, so it's just, those are all lessons that I learned early on in high school that I've just kind of carried with me to this day. And, I wouldn't be here without those experiences in high school and those lessons that I was able to learn.
Chris, do you remember the playoff game against Robeson when Brian Balaga came back right after he had won it?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was on the sideline. He wore his ring that night, and you broke off one of those 65-yard runs where you like ran around a guy, ran over a guy, and then ran past a guy. And Brian turns around and he goes, "That guy ought to be your player of the year."
So that was the deciding factor for you guys, huh?
I said, well, he's the leader in the clubhouse. So
yeah, that was a crazy run. I remember it. I was on their sideline. I think I like juked a guy out, ran a guy over. Like those were always my favorite runs where I ran somebody over and like kind of stepped on them on the way over them. Like I would always like those runs more than I would just like juking somebody out. Yeah, it was cool. But I remember that Super Bowl ring he had on, and it was like,
oh man, it was enormous.
The craziest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
You got a nice, you get a nice hunk of metal for the Grey Cup?
Yeah.
Do you have it already, or are they still working on it?
We haven't gotten them yet. Somebody sent me a message and said I guess they got postponed till July. But they're supposed to be out amazing. Like they look just like Super Bowl rings. I'm sure that they're probably not to that level, but I mean they're huge. There's hundreds of diamonds in them, and they look pretty awesome. So I can't wait to see it.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot for your time, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Great talking to you guys, man.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well and staying safe.
Great catching up with you, Chris.